now to a report that shows illegal immigration to the European Union has more than doubled in just 5 years. And the study claims that the blame for the UK's illegal migrant crisis lies solely with the European Union. Let's break those figures down for you. Illegal migration to the EU went up from almost 628,000 in 2019 to more than 1.265 million in 2023. And that's an increase of over 101%. Germany detected the most illegal arrivals in that time with 2.15 million. Next on the list was Greece, and Hungary and France also had more than 1 million migrants. And wait for this, a whopping 82% of illegal migrants in the European Union last year were male. Now, this independent study was produced by the British think tank facts4eu.org, which is an affiliate of the Campaign for an Independent Britain. And I'm joined now by Lee Evans, who's the chairman of facts4eu.org. Lee, welcome to the show. An astonishing report, simply staggering, and a great line that you pull out of this is that you solely blame the continued illegal migrant crisis we have in the United Kingdom on the EU's inability to control its own borders.
That's right. I think it's very difficult to see it any other way if you look at our report. This report, by the way, it came about from a fairly innocuous document produced by the EU Commission Statistics Agency. And whenever those documents look like they're innocuous, they get our interest. And so my team then accessed the data, dived right into the detail, and hence the report, which we provided exclusively in advance to GB News. And the reason we did that is because GB News has been unafraid of covering these types of subjects for years now.
So I'm very, very flattered to have that. But let's get back to the real concern here. If we've got over 1.25 million men flooding into, 82% of them flooding into the European Union, and they're able just to wander throughout that entire area, then inexorably they're ending up on the French coast. Looking ahead, Lee, to the government, we've just been sworn in on the King's speech today. Do you think that that plan that they're offering will in any way deter this? Or do you think that we're looking at an even bigger problem coming to our shores?
I think the latter, Martin, if I'm honest. We're non-partisan, as you know. We deal in facts, and we tend not to deal in forecasts. We leave that to the Remain or Rejoiner side of things. But if you look at the overall numbers, Martin, they are quite staggering. And I can give you just a few extra examples. In the last 12 years, the EU has detected 10 million illegal migrants. Now, I choose my words carefully. Detected. That doesn't mean that is the total. It just means those are the ones that they found. So that's an extraordinary number over the last 12 years. But what was particularly interesting, which you highlighted at the start of this segment, was the increase over the last few years, the doubling in 5 years. Now, that shows that despite all of the concerns about illegal immigration in the EU, which is very similar to the concerns the GB audience will have in the UK, despite those concerns, the EU seems unable to gain control of its borders. Now, the obvious implication of that is that a proportion, at the very least, a proportion of these illegal migrants will come to the UK. And the more there are in the EU, all things being equal, the more probably will come to the UK. So if you look at the first 12 days of Sakir Starmer, his premiership, from the day, his first day when he announced Rwanda was to be scrapped, there's been nigh on 1,200 migrants that have crossed. I know you've reported that. So that gives some indication. The second thing, obviously, that GB News viewers and listeners will probably be aware of is that we're looking at record numbers already this year. They're up by 12% based on previous years, and previous years were bad enough. So it seemed reasonable to us to look at the source. Where is this coming from? And they're all coming from the EU, all of them. So the more porous the EU's borders are, and the more illegal migrants they allow in, the greater the possibility that our numbers of illegal boat migrants will just carry on going up and up and up.
OK, we have to leave it there. It's an excellent report, and thank you so much for your work. I know you do lots and lots of reports. Get onto those, facts4eu.org. Got a great Twitter account all over social media. Thank you for giving that exclusive to us, Lee Evans. Always an absolute delight. Thank you, my friend.